What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 1 of 2024. I'm Jason smashpop.
I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Zach, and it is episode 1 for me because it's my first episode here, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So in 2024, we're doing this brand new thing where we brought in a very good friend of ours to come join us and hang out and talk.
And what is his name?
His name is Zachary Yo. If you don't know him, no lah, it's impossible that you don't know him. The moment you swipe your feet, right, the first thing you'll hear is clearly.
Yeah, I've got a trademark there. I've got a trademark that A.
Correct. So now that you know who Zachary is, yes, he's the newest member of Ya. So now, finally, the 3 Yas, each of the Ya belongs to one of us now.
So Zachary, I think to begin with, I think just to kick things off, maybe we should get to know you a little bit better, right?
Oh yes.
I mean,
I've been friends with these guys for the longest time. I mean,
Yeah.
Jeremy and Jason, I think about 10 years ago, right? So I do the same stuff that they do, right? I talk, we hang out, we go to cafes, right? I just don't play games as much, and I don't take photos as much. That's all.
so I mean, this podcast is a little bit more content creator based. So how would you describe your content?
My content is very safe, and it has safe enough to escape the algorithms of TikTok and Instagram.
I see. Obviously, it's very halal.
It's very halal, right?
Okay.
With,
18,
suitable for-
18 above or below also can.
I feel 16 and above can watch it.
16 and above.
Family friendly.
I have walked with two friends who are parents and gladly saying, "Hey, my kid watches it." I'm like, "Oh shit! Like, is he in form 5? What? No. It's like 5 years old, 6 years old.
I see.
Like, oh.
That's because 5 years don't know what is all this,
You'd be surprised actually, young kids these days.
Wow, because of your influence.
Yeah, with the education that I'm providing, right, they mature a lot faster.
But I mean, Zachary, you can tell obviously he is an educator, and he truly believes in changing the world for the better.
Yeah.
I would like to see the world that you help bring up, the future that you help bring to the fore.
Opening up kids' mind 1A at a time.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So since it's 2024, right? I think we should at least start with what's your New Year resolution, right?
No, not that, man.
Okay. If you have one, what is it? But if you are one that doesn't like to do resolutions, also can tell us why. Okay, Jeremy, you start.
I start.
Yes.
Okay, so I think I've thought about this a little bit more, and I'm just on a purely serious basis. It's gonna sound super basic, but I think if everybody did it, I think it'd be okay. You should all do more of the stuff that we want to do and we say we're going to do, and we do less of the stuff that we really don't want to do. And I think if you just live according to this guiding principle for the year, you'll be okay. So and stuff like everybody says I want to work out more. So if you say it and you do want to, then if you could just live up to it by actually doing it, I think you'll be okay.
I mean, that's the whole point of resolution, right?
That's a resolution, basically.
But I think a lot of people think about it in the sense of like this one activity. You know what I mean? But now I'm just saying let the resolution
instead of an absolute.
instead of absolute. Think about let this philosophy
Something more
be your
progressive
resolution.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I think then you just adjust according. Then it becomes a lot more flexible.
New resolutions.
Like a New Year's resolution that says I want 6 packs this year. That doesn't work.
Okay.
But if you say I want to go to the gym, I want to try to be healthier, then as long as you make decisions that are taking you to healthy places, you're okay. But it also doesn't mean you can't enjoy ice cream or you can't
So does it mean correct me if I'm wrong, your resolution is to really do what you say you want to do, no matter what it is.
I mean, as much as possible. As much as possible. Don't say what, no matter what
I
it
think
is.
I know where this is going.
Why it's very tricky. Okay, where are you going with this?
Slippery
Jason?
slope.
Why are you trying to get to?
Nothing.
Now I got to be very careful what I say to you now.
So anyways, Zach, what's your New Year resolution, or do you even have one?
I used to have absolute resolutions, 6 packs, fitter and
But
stuff.
now
like
you have
that.
everything.
But then I realized it just doesn't work. So I think for me, this is probably the most serious thing I've said in the whole week, is to find small little things that make me happy. Like this year, more things that make me happy, but it's not like materialistic things, like small things, just hanging out with friends, or having more time to enjoy my tat in the morning, listening to my favorite song, all these small little things that make me happy.
I could get with that. I'm definitely down with that.
I sense something from Jason coming out.
No, nothing.
No,
I'm
okay. Are you trying to say that there's something about him that's small that you don't have to enjoy, or something like that, or something? You have that look on your face.
No lah, but it's just don't you think all this while we have been doing that? I want to eat my tart in the morning, so I do it.
But I don't appreciate it as much. I take it for granted, I feel. You know what I mean? And I look forward to things that might make me happy, which they don't, right? And then I look back and realize that it's the small little things that make me happy. And I think this comes with age, and I'm a lot younger than you guys.
Oh,
So-
wow.
so-
wow.
so-
We're starting off 2024 with personal attacks. What's going on?
Hey, nuance.
Don't cancel me.
Okay, maybe it's not a personal attack. It's just a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke, guys. Come on.
That's a joke too.
I'm
Right.
young enough to take it.
No, I think, but I do think it's a very fair point that you're making. I think like the small things truly do matter, and and you know what? Like just the other day, like we were doing dinner together, and it's like, oh my god, this is like the best dinner ever or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you said something like, you always say stuff like that, right? I remember that conversation, and when I thought about it, I'm like, yes, because I do think that in that strange way, I'm truly trying to like, whenever I make exclamations like, oh, what a productive day, or what a good day today, it really is like it's me just doing that.
You are truly appreciating the good things.
Yeah, and in this moment, it really does feel like a really good thing. And then I
that's
just
true.
move from moment to moment in that sense.
That's true. And also, it kind of helps when you say it out. Because if you don't,
Manifest.
then, yeah,
Manifest.
correct.
Yeah.
So what about you, Jason?
Mine's more proper, I feel. Like proper for myself.
Oh, that's not very okay. What is this proper resolution?
Okay, sound guy, please play some serious music.
Put the sound guy. Sound guy.
Jeremy with the filter.
No budget. This is no budget production.
So basically, I think I told you before, right? Or not. Okay, anyway, in 2024, I feel like I want to make more real friends.
Oh.
Yeah, like friends like this, you know,
Right,
like you
right.
and you. Not more hi-bye event friends, because I realized that those really no point. And I really want friends who can celebrate things together.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's a good one, man.
Jumping off the topic of friends, right?
Yes.
Right. Also, what I realized is that over the years, right, I have less and less friends.
Oh, that's normal. That's
right?
everyone.
That's normal.
Yeah,
And the less friends, the friends that remain are the friends that are the real friends right now. Because that's the friends that you're willing to spend time with.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So I don't think it's more of you making real friends, it's more of you really just zeroing in on people who are already in your life and just spending more time with them.
Wow.
Wow.
I like that.
So deep.
I go deep, man.
And I'm all for it actually.
Yeah.
Like I used to say for the longest time when it came to like people that I knew in the work, like the entertainment industry, which is where most of my work came from, right? I don't have a lot of people that I do hang out with from the entertainment industry.
I mean, you have a best friend, right?
No lah, I got childhood best friend. I don't know what you're talking about. But like what I mean is like and I have, and over the years I've also come to feel that the people that the friends that I made from the industry as an adult, and making friends as adults is pretty difficult, are the ones that I really like. I feel like you really want to have them in your life for as much as possible, as long as possible. And these are the people that you can rely on, that you can call if you need help, that you don't feel will judge you, and those are so very, very important things. But I feel like building on the quantity of that is a bit trickier. Like you just have to like figure out who has the qualities that you appreciate, and then you just double down and invest in them with your time and effort and energy, and hope that they do the same.
Yeah, and like speaking of that, because also what I realized is because I work in like full-time job, corporate job, right? By the way, for those who don't know, right? So what I realized is last time I think that the friends that I grew up with, or the friends that the longer I know someone, the better it is, right? The more real the person is, right? You would think that way, right?
Correct.
Childhood friend and stuff like that. But then when I grew up, right, and I realized when you work, you meet a bunch of new people every time. It's always a different group of people, right? And I realized the group of people that I work with, like right now, right, it's like I can be best friends with them, and I just know them for the shortest amount of time. But I feel that we meet at the right time when both our maturity meet, or our levels, our vibe and stuff like that, And so what I'm trying to say is that your best real friends don't have to be someone that you know for the longest time. It could be someone new that you haven't met, or it's already in your life,
Correct.
Oh, wow.
Correct. So
And that is another deep thing. So
that is why that's why I say in this year I want to make more real friends, because I want to know more people. Hence, and I can have like a basket full of people that I can filter and see which ones can be real friends. Doesn't mean friends from 10 years ago, like maybe friends from this year that we can really click and we can become like real friends.
I love it. Okay, so then Then the question is, what are the qualities of a real friend? What do you think make up a good friend? What, in your opinion, what's a
I was
what's a
just
friend?
about to say this. I think the one point to me is, if this 2% clicks and they can become real friends, right? They should not they wouldn't be envious of each other's success.
Oh yes, that's very
Right.
important. Yep.
They would be, even if it's not supportive, they just are not envious. You know, like you do you know, I understand this is what you do.
Yeah.
This is you get nominated to awards every day. You go ahead, I don't mind. Let me do my own thing while
Yeah.
you do yours. It doesn't necessarily have to support. Like I don't need someone to be like a hype girl or hype boy, right? Just don't be envious, because you understand that everyone does different thing in their lives.
Yeah. Like, don't be a sabotagey bitch.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. Is that one thing? The one thing
That's
that
the
you're looking
main trait.
That's the main
thing that
trait.
you look
Yes.
for lah.
Yeah. What about you guys?
for? When it comes to friends, I don't know, Zach.
For me, I've done a lot of filtering in the last 2 years actually, cutting down. So I'm at
I'm glad I'm still here.
I'm at a what do you call this?
Crossroads.
Crossroads where I'm deciding whether to cut off certain friends or to not. And I don't mean like just like block and stuff, but more of like just find out I've been putting in so much effort. It's always one-sided. It's always me making plans. It's always me asking you out. It's always me saying, but I feel like it's not two-way,
Right.
And these are the friends I grew up with, right? And the more and more I feel like it's one-sided, the more I feel like just okay lah, I just like I
Correct.
won't leave the group, but I won't say anything,
Right.
And if you want to think that suddenly Zach just like don't want to answer, then
That's because
sorry lah,
you should know why lah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, very interesting. I think my idea of friendship, I think it's something that my dad told me a long time ago, which I think about, and the more I think about it, it's a statement that makes a lot of nuance, right? A friend is somebody that I will not have to ask anything from, and he will not have to ask anything from me.
Okay.
And on the surface level, it means that I won't ask you for a favor here, my friend. Because if you look at it, some people say like a transactional relationship with friends is not a good thing,
Friends
right?
with benefit.
Right? Yes. But what that also really means, as I found as I've grown up, or grown older, is that just means that I don't have to ask from my friends. It is given, it is offered. And if I'm truly a good friend as well, I would do the same for them. So based on that principle alone, I think it was like, this is some like Three Kingdoms like philosophy, some Yihei action, right? Which I really like. And I think most of my life I've lived according to that creed. So to me, it's not so important to like, I don't have to see my friends all the time. I have conversations with friends that I don't talk to for 3 months, and we talk, it's like, we're back.
Yeah.
It's like,
Like
we never left. And
Yeah.
I don't fault them, because I understand life gets in the way. Same thing happens for me as well. But it's important to feel that like, if I want to talk to someone, I can be honest and open with them. And if I can tell that they need help, or they can tell that I need help, I mean, I can ask obviously, and it's fair and it'll be given. But it's even greater when it is offered, and it's like, you know what, I got you. You don't have to worry about this. It's sorted. And then you don't feel like you have to ask them for help. It's already on the table. Like, hey, we could do this. And I think that's a very important trait in my friend. And I honestly feel that I've been very lucky that for the people that I do have as like real like friends and brothers and stuff like that, like there's some element of that happening. Like, yeah. I think it's,
Okay.
yeah.
So now it makes me think, right? If I'm about to filter this basket full of people,
How big's the basket?
I mean 3 people.
Oh shit!
I mean,
I just got here.
but you just started the year, so it's okay.
Correct.
The basket is
Throughout the year,
accumulating.
I collect ma. So one of the filter is, should your real best friend should be a guy or a girl? Does it matter?
I don't think that matters.
I think for Jeremy it doesn't matter because Melissa is her best friend, right? And she's a chick.
She's one of my best friends,
Yeah.
one of my closest friends. Yes.
Yeah, but if you can only have one real close friends in an island with you, guy or girl?
I mean, on an island, I mean, a guy, because guys together can climb coconut trees. Like, I can't expect a girl. I'm gonna do all the climbing and hunting.
Oh, that's
bro.
true.
But how are you going to expand?
I don't say
your-
that.
And what if get more people to climb the tree? Bro, think far. You need more people to climb the coconut tree, so you need to make more people.
No, we are not talking about friends with benefit. We're just talking about real friends.
Okay.
Real friends in life.
Okay.
Real friends in life.
Yeah.
So one guy on an island with you lah.
To
Not
me,
island lah, like island of life.
it really doesn't matter, man.
Okay.
It really doesn't matter. Because I think like whether you're a guy or a girl or in between or whatever, it like the qualities are the important trait, lor.
Don't you feel that to be real friends, you need to have the same interests? If
Not
it's the same interest, then probably a guy would be better because, say, for example, if you like watches, you also need a guy friend who likes watches, right?
I mean, not necessarily.
Yeah, not necessarily.
I mean,
because-
if you were to be really honest, before you got into watches, I was liking watches all by myself alone. Remember when we were in a conversation in the car and you brought up watches and I'm like, oh my god, are you getting into watches?
Yeah.
Before
And
that,
that's how we became good friends, right?
we were good friends before that.
I mean,
already.
have you ever taught watches to any girls?
God.
Melissa.
No,
When she want
Melissa.
to change her watch band.
No, I mean I thought watches with other people for sure.
Okay.
But the connection wasn't strong. Like the what like your friendship and my friendship it's great, but it was not built on a foundation of stuff. It was built on a foundation of like just mutual interest, ability to get along, which is how I build all my. I think I have friends who do all sorts of things that I'm not into. And
Same.
you know what I mean? I think it's that.
Yeah.
It's about the how you hang out and how you can learn and share perspective. I think that's very important.
Yeah.
So, is that want to add anything?
Mine's gotta be a girl, I mean, because
They smell better.
it's biology, man. It's survival of the fittest, right? So, yeah.
What about you?
To me, I don't mind either one, but I feel that I need someone who has a similar interest as me.
Okay.
You know, likes gadgets.
So you won't be bored.
So we can talk
So we can
about
talk
things
about
for a very
common
long
ground.
time.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
But I also have friends who I don't talk much with, but they are like real friends. You know? We meet up, we talk about like random topics, right? But it's not sometimes it's not even things that I like. You know, but I can layan and I can listen because like I feel that somehow, you know, it's not transactional. You know? Yeah, and he's genuinely there, he's genuinely giving me his time because he wants to be there.
Yeah.
And I can feel it lah. I can just feel it lah. I can feel when someone is just sitting there and just like you know, just for the sake of it, you know.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, same thing. There are friends that you are willing to drive all the way
Yes.
out there, you
Correct.
know, just to be there.
Yeah.
And you don't really have to do anything, right? Like just go there, sit down,
Yep.
drink coffee,
Yeah,
carry.
yeah.
But some people is like, oh, I'm outside your house, you wanna come out and meet, and then you're like,
Not today lah. I'm in the toilet.
not today, I'm busy breathing.
Busy.
You know, there are friends like that, right?
Yeah.
So those are they even friends then? If you don't even want to meet them because you really don't feel like it.
I think those are just normal friends, lah. Like normal people, lah. Like you really have to,
Acquaintances,
whether you're in the right state of mind to meet these people.
If it's like not the right time, right place, then you don't
Yeah,
want, you know?
like not a priority, but-
Conditional, yeah.
But friendly enough, lah. You know what I mean?
Real friends, it doesn't matter.
Ah.
You could be in the toilet, right? But
Yeah.
you're like, oh yeah, wait, I come down.
Yeah, I come now. Wait, I put my shit back inside the butt first.
Tuck it in. Yeah.
Yeah, and like on that topic of like the common ground thing, like my one of my really good friends. I mean, we grew up together. We friends since we were 13. I was best man at his wedding. He's super into football. Like my whole life, he's just been a big football fan. Everything I know about football, I learned from because they sit down and listen to him talk. Only. So, but the friendship has bloomed because there's a lot more other stuff that we're into. But his main like driving factor is football. And I think like, I mean, those are important. You must be able to be into the stuff. But I think if you allow yourself to be open-minded, I think it's the same with anything where you open your mind a little bit and you're like, you could learn from anything. You want to talk about like knitting? You know what? I'll listen to you talk about knitting.
Only if you're interested to listen to them.
Yes, because
Yeah.
but you are interested to listen to them because of the chemistry that happens between the two of you.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel like if you're real enough, you can also tell the person like, you know, like, bro, I don't like knitting. You know, like, let's not talk about knitting. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't offend the person. You know, even though he loves knitting,
And
you
they wouldn't be offended because they are also
They're like, okay,
your
okay,
good
okay,
friends.
okay, okay,
They're like,
yeah,
okay, you know what, let's talk about
something
something else.
Yeah,
It's a night, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But speaking of like friends and wedding, because you mentioned wedding, right? So I have this one friend that I won't name, right? So 3 of us are friends, right? We grew up as friends, right? So that guy doesn't really like me. Okay?
Okay.
Long story.
Okay.
But long story short, this other person had a wedding. Okay, would you? So let's say you don't like me, right? You don't like me, but Jeremy has a wedding.
Yeah.
I'm going to the wedding. Would you go to Jeremy's wedding?
Of course.
Jeremy's your friend, right?
Of course.
Correct.
Of course.
Yeah.
You guys are besties, right?
Yeah. I don't care about you whether you're there or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
on the
talk
day
to
on the day of the wedding, right? The fella flew down from I think UK or what to have his wedding. Right? I went. He didn't show up
Because you were there.
because I was there.
Oh wow.
Because and he doesn't even like me because the girlfriend doesn't like me.
So it's not even a personal problem between you and him. It's a problem with the girlfriend.
Yeah, so he's colored by the girlfriend. So he didn't show up. The girlfriend did not let him show up to his best friend's wedding, bro.
You know
so
what?
it's the girlfriend's problem now.
Yeah.
It's not him.
No, it's him. It's him. Because if you are so easily affected by someone else like that, and this is
Yeah.
your best friend, it's your problem already. It's not your girlfriend's problem. It's your problem because you did not manage it right. And this guy had like 2 weddings, one in Kuantan, one in Subang. Both also tak boleh.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I think like
Yeah.
So to me that like I was telling you like how to filter and cut, right? To me that is really just pushing it already. It's like telling me like you don't want to commit in this friendship anymore. And which is sad. It's even sadder for the fella who's having the wedding there and be like, your beef is not even with me. Your beef is with my other friend, right?
Yeah.
But now you're not here.
But I think it says a lot. It says a lot. It says that this is a guy that will not have your back if his girlfriend says no.
Correct.
So then,
Yeah.
then by proxy, the quality diminishes tremendously already because I cannot trust you to have my back in the face of like the whole world is against me. I cannot trust you to have my back. If you believe I am right, you will not have my back because you're afraid to speak up, and that's problematic.
But now it makes me think, what would happen if he were to still go to the wedding? Would there be an argument between him and the girlfriend?
They probably would, but it doesn't matter, right? Showing up is more important.
I mean,
than avoiding
Yeah.
an argument.
Okay, so let me ask you, how would you deal with your girlfriend on this? If there's an argument now, the girlfriend say, "Oh, don't go."
Also,
I don't like.
Okay. I would have a huge fight, and I think my girlfriend will agree as well. And people who know me will agree. I would have a huge fight with my girlfriend and say, "No, man, like this is my friend. Sorry, I have to go. If you don't want to go, you don't mean a +1 and go. Sorry, but I have to go. I have to show up because that is my friend. And not showing up says a lot about our friendship. And I'm not willing to just burn the bridges with this friend just because you are not happy with that person.
But then the girlfriend will say, but if you go means you don't respect me as your girlfriend. Shouldn't you be treasuring me because I'm your precious? You should be doing what I like.
that sounds like a red flag right there because no decent partner will make her boyfriend choose between the friend or her. It's like saying like you choose your family or me lah. You choose your friend or me lah. Like these people in my life before you came along, why would you dictate that, right?
That's true.
So and you can argue for and you can still get into a fight and talk about it, but you cannot put it down in these ways, right? Because
You can't
because that's like fighting dirty already. You know what I mean? That's
So
like,
Zach is like the make a big fuss, make big fight out of it. What about Jeremy? How would you deal with a partner when there's an argument?
when I was younger, had a long-term relationship, I don't know if
I'm not
had...
touching age, but you're revealing your age.
No lah, like we were all younger and like more brash, and I haven't been in a relationship for the longest time, right? So
But what kind of person, what kind of guy are you when it comes to argument?
I think like now, I think I have a lot of very different perspectives. I think when I was a less enlightened man, I would like to say, I think I would just do what I could to get what I wanted. So if I wanted to go, I would go, and I would say what I needed to say lah.
So you know which points to get to that point,
Yeah,
right?
but now I believe such conflict is actually a lot of waste of energy. I think the true answer is, look, I feel very strongly about going. You feel strongly about me not going. We obviously cannot come to terms. You have to ask yourself now, would you still be able to be in a relationship with me if I went? Not because I would not be in a relationship with you if I stayed and I didn't go. So you have to ask yourself that question. And if you cannot come to terms, then I think we have come to a very obvious decision. Because we're talking boyfriend and girlfriend now, right?
Yeah.
Right? And this is a very good indicator of whether or not I will be able to truly be able to spend time or live my life with you for future reference. And it's just like that.
Correct. So you are the kind that will not shout but still reason.
I will try, but then if I'm constantly pushed, I have also been known to shout loud because my voice very loud. I get really excited, right? Like even when I don't think I'm shouting, people will think I'm shouting. It's very tricky.
That's true.
But were you like, do you shout a lot back then? Like,
No,
were you hot-tempered?
No,
right? Yeah,
But
so
I
actually-
have lost it. I think everybody's lost it.
Yes.
But I try not to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that I can relate because back in the days I was also very bad tempered, and people say, oh, because you're an Aries, Aries people do that.
Oh my god, let's not get into that.
I'm like, what is Aries? I don't even read horoscope. I don't even know what Aries do what one,
What you accusing me?
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not.
It's like,
I'm
yeah.
not acting based on my horoscope. I don't even know how my horoscope is like, But of course, after that, I went and read a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay.
Self-fulfilling.
So Aries is kind of like bad-tempered, and they are very stubborn. Like if they want to do that, they will do it. And they don't mind shouting. They don't mind whatever. It's like I am the biggest.
Yep.
In the relationship, you must listen to me because I am right.
Right, yeah.
Because I want to do this. If you don't let me do it, fuck you. I will still do it.
Yeah.
But I realized that as I get older, don't know how old, age not
You
mentioned.
lose your horoscope.
I lose my horoscope traits.
No longer Aries already.
Elevated.
Now,
What are you
now I'm like Zen. It's like, okay,
So what is it?
if something bad happens, let's just see how we can talk this out. And there's no point shouting because there really is no point. There has been so many shoutings in the past, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So why not we just talk? If cannot talk, then you just come down for a while and try to resolve it within the same day.
Right. There's always a resolution, and sometimes the resolution means we just don't ever talk ever again. I mean,
Yeah.
like sometimes that's the resolution.
And I really hate when couples are like, you know what? I'm so angry. I'm not gonna talk to you for 3 months.
Oh,
Like,
I
what
hate
is that?
I hate that.
Oh man,
That's
Like,
cool.
what's the point?
That's-
After 3 months you talk again. What? You might as well talk now.
yeah.
You don't waste time. Three months you don't talk, and then so many things get delayed lah. Decisions cannot make because you don't talk for 3 months.
If there's one thing I've learned from like watching all these like women talk about red flags and stuff like this, silent treatment stuff is legit a red flag, man. Like
I
it's
realize that guys don't do that.
No, we don't.
yeah, guys try a lot more to like make things. But that being said, there have been times. No, actually no. There have been times where I've been so angry I feel like I can't talk to you right now.
No,
But
but
it's
that
not for,
comes
like-
from a different place. It comes from a different place.
Yeah.
That one is because we need to calm down.
Yeah.
I just need to chill a
let me just
little
get
bit.
my
Well, the
head
silent
together.
treatment is a bit more of a tantrum,
And it's
Yes.
very
Right?
intentional. It could be very intentional.
right? It's almost like weaponizing
Yeah.
the
Because I've been on those ends before, lah, like especially in my relationships last time. I'll get a silent treatment, and for no reason, and then like 2 months later, the girl will talk to me back, and like,
Who are you again?
yeah,
What's your
I don't know lah.
So when the silent treatment, would you be the one who is like,
Last time I would. Last time I would be like, keep trying to make things right,
Yeah.
keep trying to pander to your ego or to whatever.
yeah.
But now I won't. Like, if you give me silent treatment now, then like
Just silent all the
silent
way.
lah, just be silent lah.
Let's
You know
see
what I
who
mean?
win lah.
Yeah, I won't like unmute you
Unsilent.
or answer. Yeah, just
Okay. So obviously, like now that we're talking about it, how this is how we would react, lah, right? But in a situation where we did encounter the silent treatment, what would you say would be the best way to handle it, though? Like the like a lot harder maybe, but the more rational way to feel like you've done truly the more adult way of like handling the situation.
just be more silent than the person. And then
I feel that the more rational way is definitely the way that we see on movies or on shows like we buy gifts, we try to do something that is very touching, until like they will feel like they still like us, those kind of things. You just try lah. Of course they will still be silent for a while, but they will be like, but he did so much already.
It's so interesting that we have three different. Because to me, I was just thinking to myself, I think the best way to handle it would be to truly say, and you have to be very aware of this. Truly say, like, how you felt during the scenario, and how what they said made you feel, and then that's when the silent treatment happened. You have to say like, look, I don't think the silent treatment is fair because when you do this, it really makes me feel blah 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 blah, and I would really like to have a proper chat to resolve this, but if this cannot go on, this is unacceptable. It's an unacceptable boundary in my terms. And I think if you did that, then somebody has to move. Because if they're not willing to move when you're being so open and vulnerable and honest, if they're not willing to move, then they will never move. They will never.
Until that one day they're like, internally they're like, very long time I never talk to you already. I feel like I want to talk.
Right. Correct.
Then they'll be like, Tonight you what?
Right? Like, I think like for people you don't care about, the silent thing, whatever, because you don't care about them.
Yeah.
For people that like maybe you don't really, you just want to like settle a problem so you can move on really quickly, you could try and make it up, but then in your head you also be a little bit salty about it.
Yes.
But for the people that you are truly willing to want to like build long-term relationships, like the quality friendships, the quality relationships, I think it's very important to be able to, one, express yourself honestly, and give them a chance to respond accordingly, and both come together. It will require a little bit of
Maturity.
and a little bit of awkwardness, and maybe even a sense of shame for the both of us to like, oh yeah, shit, I have to like let down my face a little bit. Like you can't be proud. You cannot have your pride. And I think that would be the way to do it. It's a lot harder than it seems. I don't do it very well. I've tried, and sometimes it falls flat. And sometimes when they don't respond well, it feels terrible. But there have also been circumstances where I also acknowledge what I've done, but you also express how they feel, and then we try.
But the thing is, I feel that guys are more likely to acknowledge what they have done wrong.
You think so?
No, not necessarily though.
I mean, you don't admit if you're wrong.
I think a lot of times guys don't know when they are wrong or why they are wrong.
Yeah, I would. There are so many times where I would say I'm not wrong, and then after like expressing myself, talking about it, explaining, and then I've come to a point where I realize that, hey, actually I'm wrong, and then I would admit I'm wrong. But at first I wouldn't, because I sometimes don't know that I'm wrong. And then after talking it out, after like arguing about it, right?
Yeah,
getting
but
upset,
then after a while, and when you realize that you are wrong, you will say you are wrong, right?
I will say yeah, I'm sorry lah.
Yeah, no?
Like,
I feel guys are more likely to do that.
yeah.
I don't know
But
about
how
that.
I say I'm sorry sometimes also can. It depends lah.
Right.
It depends on how. Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting though, because like I can tell you historically, it's very rare that I've admitted I'm wrong though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Although you are wrong, you were wrong.
Because I am, so the nature of my personality is that I believe that like right or wrong,
It's a perspective.
it can be almost like you know what I mean. So I've learned not to focus on the right or wrong. When it comes to the relationships or the people that I care about, I think the right or the wrong, whether you're in the right or you're in the wrong, I think at the end of the day it doesn't matter. Because if I care for you, and if you, I don't know, did something terrible to me, but I still care for you, and I still want to be your friend, or I want to be in a relationship with you, I still want to like have this connection, then I cannot focus on the fact that you were wrong and I was right, or I was right and you were wrong.
Then we are very different. Then
Yeah.
we are opposites, because I would zero in on who's right, who's wrong, what exactly went wrong, right? Why are you wrong, so that you don't repeat the same mistake again.
Correct.
And I would make you
Pay.
no, not make you pay, make you understand
Right.
why you're wrong. What
Okay.
exactly? If I feel that you still don't come to a point where you still don't understand why you did something wrong,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I would be angry lah. Then I would
Yes.
try again. So a lot of times in arguments, right, I would over-explain and over-express myself. Don't know how many times,
That's
just
fair.
to make sure that you understand, right, what went wrong,
Right.
so that this doesn't happen
But
again.
that is only if you are truly,
And that's
like-
because I care.
Right, but
If
that-
I don't care, I'll be like, okay.
But what if
you know,
like
who's right,
we
who's
end
wrong?
up in a situation where you thought you were right, but then actually you're wrong, but you are over explaining and you're forcing and you're doing
It
that.
happened before.
And then what
It happened before.
And don't you feel that sometimes that might damage you even greater, even deeper what you already have with your friend or your partner?
I would just like admit I'm like, oh, okay, sure, sorry. After all the explanation, I realized that I'm the wrong one, and that has happened many times lah. So
Right.
I guess I'm not that good at arguments.
So that's what I'm trying to say, right? So
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is like, let's not, if you don't focus on the right or the wrong, right? In a relationship, if there's one person that's right and there's one person that's wrong, there is a very obvious winner and a loser.
Yes.
In terms of value. I mean, I won because I'm right. You are
Yeah.
wrong, you lost. But in your friendships and your relationships, you like honestly, we don't, like we said, you don't want to have an envy, you don't want people to like whatever, right? You want some support, or you know what I mean? You want like a partnership of sorts. So you want to feel like, look, there's obviously a misunderstanding. The meaning of the word misunderstanding is neutral. Right or wrong has a positive or negative value attached to it. But if we focus on clearing up the misunderstanding, and we focus on finding a way to mend the relationship, not to focus on who's right or wrong, I think that's the better way to channel that energy.
That's the ideal situation.
That is the
It's
ideal
easier
situation.
said
yeah,
than done.
yeah.
I agree completely. I'm not saying it's
Have you
hard,
ever done that? No, I've never.
but I think I do think that it's
Let's
worth.
clear up the misunderstanding. No
Let's
one's
sit down
right,
here.
no one's wrong. Okay,
I'm not blaming you.
Yes,
You are not blaming me, but
But-
let's just look at the situation
No
now.
one's gonna. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's exactly it. Like nobody is blaming. I'm not blaming you. You're not. I mean, you might be blaming me, but I'm telling you that this is how I feel. This happened, and I felt like this, and I'm sorry if I made you feel like that. And then I think
that's very mature.
and then a conversation, and then I think a conversation can happen. But if you went in like, look, the reason why I'm like this is because you did this. If you didn't do this, this wouldn't happen. Then we're all in trouble already.
But that is true. If they didn't do this,
Correct.
then this wouldn't happen.
You would never end because then it would be.
Yeah, then it'll be
keep
then it'll
going.
Be like,
Yeah.
then they will also say, yeah, but I did that.
But I did that because you made me feel that way, so I did that. But you know, yeah,
Right.
then it goes. Yeah, that's where the blame switches, and then you
Right.
play the blame game, and then you don't know who's right, who's wrong anymore. And
So
both argue.
so in an ideal situation, that's what I think. It's hard. Don't fucking get me wrong.
It is,
man.
it is.
But I would like to hope that in the situations where I am tested in this manner, I go like, you know what?
You will be able to practice this.
Yeah, and that's why I constantly think it because like so it's like almost like mental visual training. Right? So when it happens, I don't react with the aggression.
When
that
the
is-
argument breaks up, you see Jeremy. Wait, okay.
right?
That is-
I don't know. Yeah. That's what I think. Yeah. Does it make sense? Does it make sense?
Makes sense.
Hopefully,
Makes
in
sense, makes
5-6 years, I reach your level lah.
But the age is 5-6 years gap, is it? No one knows.
It seems no one knows.
I don't actually know what the age gap is, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what. I don't. How old are you guys?
No,
you know.
like,
The only time I keep track of ages is when I'm trying to go out with a girl. That's it.
to make sure they're not like
Just to
underage
make sure
lah.
that
They're not
it's
underage.
age appropriate lah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was
okay.
just thinking about this age revealing thing, right?
Ah.
And I realized that I actually intentionally stopped mentioning my age since 11 years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I
long
still
time.
remember from that birthday.
Was that
From
a
that
reason?
birthday, I specifically tell everyone that when you are celebrating it with me, don't mention what is my age. Don't write on the cake. Don't bring those big number balloons. I'll slap your face.
Damn.
Yeah.
Was that-
and it's been 11 years.
Was there a reason why?
Something traumatic.
No, I just feel like the age is wrong.
Like you don't
For-
feel.
If you
I don't
don't-
feel.
If you don't see, you don't. Yeah.
Right.
I don't feel and I don't vibe with the number
With the
that I
number.
got.
And the number is constantly changing, but you are still the same person inside.
Correct.
No, I understand this completely.
Right. Yeah, you understand, right? But if you don't reveal, people will always think you are there.
No.
Then you can act like that as yourself. You know, you can officially act like that because there's no number tied to
It's very deep.
you.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I always tell people, you want to know my age? Well, I am what you think I am.
Wow.
If you think I act and feel like 28, then I am 28. If you think I act like 40, then I'm 40. You know,
So, if,
whatever.
so if
lah.
you don't know his age, right? If, obviously, you know his age. If you don't know his age, what would you put him at? Based on his personality, his life, and all that. What would you number him?
That's not a question we should be talking about on
Correct.
on the podcast, bro.
Correct.
You
And
already said
also
you don't wanna
because
go there.
we know each other so
No, because
well.
it's like you could be like 28, like you said. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you're 28.
But I feel these kind of things, right? You need a new friend to tell you. Because then they can feel the vibe that
First
you
impression.
are. Yes, giving up at that moment.
Right.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Yes.
So this is part of your new friendship project lah. Like
Make sure you don't know.
once we
age.
get to know each other, how old do you think I am? And that's your new age for the year.
Also, I realized that only recently I started revealing a little bit
Okay.
to some people.
Right.
To some people that I feel that these people might be able to be a good friend or a real friend.
Right.
So I give you this cookie first. You know, to tell you that hey, you have this ticket, you can enter this door. Next time you keep this coupon. You know?
The age coupon, right?
The age coupon. Something like that.
Okay.
Oh, not bad, not bad. I personally don't have any qualms about telling people how old I am.
Okay.
But I don't like broadcast it like because I go to all sorts of places. I don't want people to know how old I am.
Yeah. But it's usually the like in my workplace, it's usually the younger people who actually care a lot about the age.
Yes.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The older you go, the more you don't. Yeah.
The same, like we don't ask people's age
Yeah.
because we don't want people to
Yeah.
ask us back.
Yeah.
The younger people,
Yeah.
they will be
Yeah.
asking because they are only like what 20, 21.
So
Yeah.
my problem is in my head whenever I deal with people, I think everybody is about my age. So that is the tricky thing. So even when I'm talking to like people who are obviously younger, in my head I talk to you like you're my age. So whenever some ladies would do this, they ask, so how old do you think I am, right? In my head I'm like my automatic reaction is like my age. But then like no, it cannot be because you wouldn't be asking me this if you were my age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like if they are your age, they won't be there already.
It's a different topic.
Yeah, man. All right.
Age doesn't matter, guys. Age is just a number.
Yeah. So whoever.
So says all the creepy old men.
As long as
Oh, that's true. I mean, okay.
No.
Age doesn't matter if you are able to look and feel like the younger age.
the age that you,
The age that you want to be.
yourself to
I think,
Yeah.
I think it's true. Like age really doesn't matter. You just do what you do, lah, and then the number is just the number, lah. But you do what you do. You live in your best life. It
But
doesn't
when
matter.
the thing is, when I was young, age, like to me, age matters. Like I had a friend, like friends who like was dating, like people like 10 years, like let's say they're like 30 years old, right?
Right.
And we're like, oh my god, like how could that happen? How can you date someone who's 30 years old and like 10 years older? And here I am today. I'm like, looking back,
That was alright. That was alright.
That was alright.
That was
That's
alright.
nothing.
Like 30 is not old at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
I still feel like
more
a
people
child.
need to grow up.
Me
lah.
too. I mean, yeah.
I genuinely still feel like a child.
I mean, I like we all still do TikTok
Yeah.
somewhat.
Like you definitely do. You
I
watch
try.
it.
Yeah, I try. But yeah, but more. There's so many. Like, everyone's on TikTok, like young people, old people.
But you know what it is though. I do think. I think part of the problem is because media in general is very young people centric. It's always been right. MTV,
yes.
everybody's always targeting young people. You know, the youth. etc.
Naturally, people who are older, they stop checking out social media so much.
I mean, but I think generally as the people who were there when social media came up, social media is so part of their lives. They will eventually still keep it going as a habit. You might not have as much time to make content, but it'll still be there.
Consume.
You'll still consume. But I do think that what really needs to happen is something that I like. There needs to be more media for older people. Because let's think about it.
Fake news.
We take a lot of our cues.
When you say we, it's like
As in,
you're
like,
old,
as in,
right?
no, we as in
Like
as in
they
people,
giving
as in
all
people,
the
as in
clues.
people, society,
Okay,
right?
okay.
A society takes a lot of their cues on how to be from media, right? So you watch like teenage high school movies, 90210 or the OC or whatever, lah, right? And then what happens then is you go like, oh, that's what the high school kid is supposed to be like.
Yeah.
And then you watch something like How I Met Your Mother or Friends or whatever sitcom or whatever, right? Then you go, oh, that's how being a young adult is supposed to be like. Supposed to have friends like that, do stuff like that, very fun, right? All right. And then maybe you watch a sitcom that has like older men in it, like family-oriented sitcom. And you go, oh, that's what
Like
family is.
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld, they were all single, but Seinfeld's like but we're talking like I don't know what's
Like
what's the
Futurama. No, like the Family Guy.
maybe lah. But then you go like, oh, that's what a family is supposed to be like, right?
okay.
Yeah.
So, but that's TV. In social media, because historically, social media is a new medium. And you got young people doing it.
Yep.
In the very beginning, it was only like young kids, teenagers that did it. And then eventually there'll be older people that did their version of it, but they will always get drowned out by the mass of young people because there are more and more young people, and there are less and less older people making stuff, right? But there needs to be more content for older people. And now you will see it. Now you will see people like how to dress if you're like above 60 or whatever, or like.
Oh, and then the white hair people.
Right? Like there's a lot of talk on like positivity as you grow older or things to expect as you grow older, and people are saying like, oh, 40 things I learned when I was 40. You know what I mean? Like all these kind of lists which you would not have 10 years ago because there were no 40-year-old people on the internet.
On social media, yeah,
right?
correct.
But that's what I think. But in a world where everybody's so much more focused on the younger stuff, I think older people should have a focus, or at least, and it will come that way, man.
I also realized that, not realize lah, but I just think that the society now, the culture nowadays is always to focus on, say, the Gen Zs, right? I feel that, say, for example, events, or if you're a brand and you want to engage influencers or people to do whatever, right? You should engage people of different ages, not just 100 people a location, 100 people Gen Zs. You should do like 30% Gen Zs, 30% young adults, 30% older. And then you have a mixed crowd of the community of the people, like the real people, who will consume your product. Who says this jeans brand can only be worn by Gen Zs?
True.
Because this jeans brand has been around for so many years, and all the older people are also still wearing this brand. So does that mean the older people cannot wear jeans now? Right? So I feel that people should change their mindset and not just bring Gen Zs all the way.
Yeah, no, I think this is a vicious cycle. It's a problem with brands where, because what they see right now is the Gen Zs, right, on social media owning it, so they think that that's how they should move forward. in events and all that. You know, if they stop and break the cycle and say, you know what, this product is not just for Gen Zs, you know what I mean, it's actually for all, and start putting in people or what, and more people older people get on the platform, then it will change. But now, no one dares to make that first move. You know, everyone's like, Gen Z, it has to be Gen Z, because all we're seeing on social media is Gen Z, it's their platform, they own it, right?
And also because I think, and because of just the way the algorithm works, it is a vicious cycle. The algorithm feeds you what you consume. So for all the agencies and all the brands, if you're constantly only consuming Gen Z content, you only see Gen Z content, and then you only think the world only has Gen Z.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just the way the TikTok
Tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision.
So anyway, if you are listening or watching us right now on YouTube or on Spotify or whatever,
Or TikTok.
on TikTok,
We are on TikTok. Are we on TikTok?
We will be.
with you here,
We should be lah, right? Because Gen Zs,
yeah, I know.
you know?
I mean, Gen Z's like us.
Gen Zs.
Yeah, why not you leave a comment and let us know what you think about all the things we've discussed today, so we can join in the conversation, whether you know about friendship, arguments,
Correct.
or even about Gen Zs or you know whatever lah.
Just don't comment our age and start putting numbers there
Just
lah, because we're not.
don't talk about age
Yeah.
at all. Okay,
Yeah.
leave a comment, share with your friends. When you post on social, tag us, and our socials are smashpop.
Zachary Yo.
Jared says.
Or you can follow the podcast, and it's called Yeah Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us everywhere, and we'll see you in the next
See
one.
you in the next episode, guys.